Hello everybody and welcome back to Paranautical Activity patch 1.6. This game kicked my ass the first time I tried this patch, and now we're going to try again. Hope that we can maybe make something happen this time. So, I don't know why I saw a health boss bar there for a second. That was kind of strange. Anyway, so this patch has been made a lot harder. Is that graphic changed? They look rounder than they used to. Maybe they always look like that. I don't know why I'm peeking into rooms. I don't want to go into a room just before I've explained this one thing. This is now official patch 1.6. My DLTyrus has updated and the patch is officially out. And so the couple of things that were missing in my previous video are now here. So there's a couple of items which didn't have graphics. They will now have graphics. And there was a new enemy which was not in the game, who may not be in this room, but there's a ninja. Goes by the name of Tenchi. Don't know if you've heard of him. He's a YouTuber and a streamer by the name of HJ Tenchi. And he's been added to the game in the form of a ninja as an enemy, which is terrifying because it appears literally as early as the first floor. There's our boss right away, which I probably don't want to fight, but who does it appear to be? That's probably Dobby, so I don't really want to fight that just yet. I also don't really want the blubber immediately, like as the tank. Like if I fought Dobby on the second floor and maybe I'd picked up some speed ups, it could be worth it, but I really cannot risk being slow in this of all patches, because good fucking lord, it's like, yeah, you just, speed is more important than ever just because there's so much, I want to say bullshit, but that's not fair. Oh god, okay, that didn't actually hit me. It's not really bullshit, but there's just a lot more to deal with now than there has been in previous patches, and you're just generally weaker anyway. So, you know, what am I trying to say? Oh, this room's empty. Sorry, I'm really losing my train of thoughts here. But yeah, you need to be generally stronger overall, so you can't really afford to take risky decisions as much anymore, like thinking, okay, I'll take the blubber in the hopes that I get a speed up because I'll probably kick the game's ass anyway. That was my first bit of damage, which isn't ideal, but it's not the end of the world. But now you need to be even more careful than ever, so, you know, what is here? There's a coin here. Okay, what do we have in here? We have Trigger Finger, which is very good. There's an M14, but I will never afford it. Let's farm the rest of the floor, excluding the boss, before we decide what to do, just so we see how much money we get. But I would be very surprised if we got above 250. But I wouldn't mind the spring and the Trigger Finger, honestly, just because... jump is important, and I'd also like some fire rate up, just because this class obviously starts with a very low rate of fire. That's one of its balancing factors. But I'd be very surprised if we get above 250 on our first floor, especially after the... Oh god, that's a ninja. Okay. Yeah, so this is the ninja dude. He teleports around, he throws knives at you. He's a scary guy. I don't know how tanky he is for the first floor. Oh god, there's two of them. Okay, I'm going to start throwing some bombs now, although I think that probably just missed. I need to deal with these guys. Did they die? I might have killed them. Okay, I think I killed them. Let's just blow that up. No, what's still alive in here? I guess I can't really... Is what? Oh, the doors are open. Okay, I'm apparently now blind. I thought the doors weren't open then, but they were. Anyway. Let's go into here. This room shouldn't be too much trouble. We've already done this room once, though we did take damage in it, I suppose, which is the only room that has caused us to take damage so far, but hey. Whoa, okay, I think Gilead shot me in the back. You coward. Face me like a man. That was the worst bomb throw ever. I just threw them, like, nowhere near them. We have found our mini-boss now, which is a good thing. No. Okay. We have found our mini-boss, so let's go and fight this, and hopefully we get a decent upgrade out of it. Oh god, it's Spider Gilead in the corner. I hate you. I hate you, Spider Gilead. No, that's some damage, okay. I don't know why I feel so much less able to... Oh god, I feel so much less able to not take damage early on. The tank speed can't possibly have been nerfed again, surely, because that would be insane. So I just think that's like a psychological effect, that knowing the patch is harder is making me fuck up more somehow. I don't know if that's really the case, but oh god, there's some more damage. I shouldn't have really backtracked there, but I did. What do we get here? We got a... oh god, homing shots are still after me. Man, we're down to 4 health. Like, seriously, the tank class is fucking useless now. I swear to god. I don't really want a grenade launcher because that's not really going to be a good thing starting with this class. it doesn't have the speed or the rate of fire to really make a good use of the grenade launcher. Yeah, we have 250, so let's go and actually, yeah, let's pick up health that's actually still lying around, because good fucking god, I am kind of scared for my life, as I only have total of 7 health now. Make that 8 health now that I just picked up that little bit of health. But yeah, we can get the trigger finger and the spring, which is a good thing, although that is going to spend all my money, which is... There's kind of a thing now in this game, which, don't get me wrong, this is a good thing. But there's now a thing in this game whereby you can't really afford to just spend your money on anything you want. You kind of have to think about it a bit more and think, do I want to save it, maybe get something better later on, because there's some really expensive items that are also really, really good. The biggest of those being the Iron Heart, which I think costs $750, which is insane. It takes all the limit off of your health. So any red hearts you get, you can just pick up forever, and you can just stack a huge amount of health, which is a huge, huge advantage, really. Come on, ninja. Okay, good. The ninjas aren't too scary. They're not terribly fast or threatening, so I'm not that terrified by them, but they're just another hazard to, you know, to watch out for, and I'm sure there's some rooms which they'll make a pain. I'm not sure if they appear for the entire game. If they're in some of the later floors, that could be really scary. Let's just put a couple of bombs on your head, I suppose. Hit the lift here, but I do have the spring, so I can probably jump over the lift quite successfully. And Dobby shouldn't be too much trouble. I'm not going to take the blubber because I'm not an insane person, because that will end up killing me, almost certainly. Oh, there's a hit from... I think that may be from his mouth shots, unless it was a moth, actually, which is kind of a rare thing to take damage to against Dobby. He doesn't normally do a lot of damage through that attack. But yeah, it's a shame to fight Dobby, because the upgrade is basically worthless to me, but it's not the end of the world. I can live with it. At least he's not terribly difficult to kill. I wonder which is the easiest of the 3 first floor bosses. I'd say it's probably Iris, just because Skelito can potentially be a problem with some weapons because of the spiders, and Dobby can potentially be a problem with some weapons just because he has a lot of health and he can be a bit difficult to hit, like with bombs and things. Let's not get hit by those. And the fact that he spawns a lot of moths can lead to some difficult situations. Anyway, let's head down to floor number 2. I'm not really sure what I'm hoping to find in terms of shop-wise. At this early stage, then there's not that many things I'm going to be able to afford, so I hope to either not actually see many useful things, just so that saving money isn't a choice so much as something I just have to do. But at the same time, I would like some of the cheaper but good upgrades. Things like rum is affordable at this level, and ooh, what else is there? There's a few other things as well. Mega bullets would be a good one that would be affordable at this kind of a level. And so I'd really like to kind of... Oh god, that homing shot brain hit me. Let's go fight Omnibus straight away. Okay, that's nice and easy. At least you haven't found Lilith yet, because I think that the tank is actually just not fast enough to deal with Lilith. And I don't know if it's a he or a she. Let's just say she, because the name sounds kind of like a girl, I suppose. I don't know. But yeah, the tank is kind of a little bit nerfed now, because it's just not fast enough to get away from Lilith, and she will literally do a lot of damage to you. So that's kind of a scary thing. But if you don't fight her for the first few floors and you get some speed up, then maybe that situation can be avoided. But we have the Tarantula, and he's easy, and... Ooh, cherry bombs. Okay, so... Oh no, it's vitamin C. I thought that was cherry bombs. Okay, that's vitamin C. That's good. That's a health up, even though I don't really need health up, but it doesn't hurt to have it. Because it means I can, you know... I can afford to take rum a little bit more now, because that's I think that was 2 health that gave me, and rum takes away 3, so that almost negates rum, which is really, really good. Like, previously the only way to negate gun was to take blubber, which is always a risky thing, because you can never know if you're going to need the speed or not. But now you can, I mean, if you get the drop, of course, now you can take vitamin C and do that instead. So that's a good thing. This game definitely needs more health ups, I think, in general, just because health is kind of a big thing, and if you give more health ups, then you can have more items like blubber, which are kind of a trade, like rum, which are like a trade of health or other things, which I think is interesting. It's a mechanic I've always liked in Isaac, and it's a mechanic I'd like to see more of in this game, especially if the items are along the lines of blubber, because, for God's sake, brain, blubber, it does not take away your health, it gives you health. I'm trying to say rum, and you keep saying blubber. Okay, there's a ninja in here. Oh god, the ninja spawned behind me and hit me. That's what he will do. Oh god, I got hit again, really? I'm not sure what by. I guess a moth probably hit me then. But yeah, the rum is a really good item, and I'd like to see more items like that, which are more damaging to you, like they lower... What the fuck are these homing shots, man? Ever since, like, I don't know when, but ever since there came a point where I seemed to stop being able to dodge homing shots very effectively, and it's scary. Ooh, I want all of these things. I really want to try Gangster's Soul just to see, but I doubt I'm going to get 400, so I'm probably just going to take the Mega Bullets here, which is one of the items I said I would like to see on these early floors because it's nice and affordable. Okay, this room shouldn't be too terribly difficult, although I'm not doing a great job of actually killing anything so far. Okay, I think I blew up a powder keg which killed lots of things, which is really good. I have a semi-decent fire rate now, thanks to the trigger finger, which is good, so any kind of damage up is obviously also going to help me out greatly. And things haven't gone terribly on these first few floors, but then they don't normally go terribly. The only thing that can really go wrong as such is not getting many items, which hasn't really happened, so that's a good sign. However, the real test of your metal is like at least floor 5 onwards, but I'm tempted to say it's actually sooner than that now. Maybe as soon as floor 4, maybe even 3, because you're going to start seeing more axes and things of that nature much earlier on than you used to now. So, oh god, ninja, get away from me. So the game becomes harder quicker, which is a good thing. That's definitely a good thing, because the game was probably a bit too easy for too long, which allowed you to kind of stack upgrades a bit too easily, just because there wasn't really much challenge in the first... At least in the first 3 floors, maybe even the first 4 floors previously, but now there's definitely more challenge in these early floors, which means, you know, you can't just have a nice easy ride and very easily, oh god, I got hit there, that's bad. I need to stop taking so much damage. This is... Ninja, fuck off. I'm taking a lot of damage on these early floors, which is bad. After just saying they, you know, it wasn't really a challenge. It kind of is a challenge. No, I wasn't saying that. I was saying the opposite of that. Good God, I don't remember what I'm saying. Okay, this is this room again, which is a little bit scary just because I took a bit of damage in there. That's... Good God, that's fucking ridiculous. That ninja literally... I couldn't possibly have got away from him. I was moving at maximum speed and he just instantly got me. That's one thing this game kind of has, which... It's like, it's a problem in Isaac as well, but not to such an extreme degree, which is, like, unavoidable damage. Like, in Isaac there's a few rooms, right, where you cannot avoid taking damage. Like, the rooms that have, like, a little maze of walkways that you can't, you know, that you have no choice but to walk down, and then you get, like, a charger or a bomb dude that's literally just going to hit you no matter what you do, and it's kind of bullshit. You can't, you know, you can't possibly avoid damage. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, what the fuck was that? That was ridiculous. Alright, that right there, that mistake right there, will cost me the run. Because health does not drop enough for that kind of a mistake to be accounted for. And yes, it was stupid, but that's a bad thing. The game shouldn't be that punishing, because you're gonna make mistakes like that from time to time, and one room basically costing you the game is probably a bad thing. But yeah, just, I very much doubt enough health is going to drop for me to make up for that mistake that I just made there, and also my hand is randomly getting a bit numb. So I'm leaning on the table in a weird way. I guess I'll farm this last room, although there's really no point, but I do want as much money as possible. But yeah, I was talking about unavoidable damage, and this game kind of has a lot of unavoidable damage, which is kind of a problem, just because the thing with difficulty, right? The thing with difficulty is it has to be hard, but it has to be possible to avoid, like, damage. Otherwise, sometimes when you lose, you kind of just feel cheapened, right? Because, you know, there's nothing you could have done about it. The game just wore you down from things that you couldn't avoid happening. And this is something Green was talking about a long time ago, back in the earlier days of Paranautical Activity, before it even had an invincibility timer. And he was talking about how one room could potentially just kind of ruin your run when otherwise everything's going really well for you, and how that's frustrating and generally not really a good thing. And he might disagree with me here, but I kind of think that the game is going a bit more back towards that style of things, which is not good in my opinion. And here's why, because, like, things like the tank don't have enough speed to avoid damage from Lilith, for example. They kind of don't have enough speed to avoid damage from the ninjas all the time. And this is obviously specific to the tank class, but there's other problems which affect other classes as well. There's things like the Nazis, like with their ridiculous rate of fire. When they go near a wall, because you have to circle strafe walls, because there's moths and things that will just kick your ass if you don't. And then when they roll near a wall, their shot speed is so fast that if you get that close to them, you will get hit, guaranteed. And this will happen a lot. The other biggest... I shouldn't have split these guys up into 4, that's bad. The other biggest factor of this that I'm talking about is lava rooms. And with the nerf to flip-flops, that has once again become an issue, which is annoying to say the least, because lava rooms were a problem, then flip-flops were added, and that kind of solved the problem, despite the fact that it was entirely dependent on luck. But depending on luck isn't a problem, because it's a roguelike, and that's the point of a roguelike. There's always going to be a degree of luck in there, no matter how much you want it to depend on skill as well. So flip-flops kind of solved that problem, but now they've basically just been completely broken, because they don't do their job anymore. There's no point in taking flip-flops with the way they currently work, and the reason for that is that lava rooms wear you down, and the reason they wear you down is not because you take a lot of damage in a row. Usually, you can do if you get caught under a stair or something. But normally speaking, the damage you take from a lava room is like a slow burn. You will, in most lava rooms, you will inevitably fall into the lava once or twice by mistake, just because, you know, you misjudged a jump, or you had to dodge an enemy and you had nowhere else to go. And it's not a case of being bad at the game. This is the important thing to say, and I realise Mike is being slightly facetious and he's probably taking the piss a little bit when he says this, but Mike says, for example, if you pick up Green's ovaries and you pick up flip-flops so that you have 4 seconds invincibility timer in lava, and then if you take like a lot of damage in a lava room, then he says, you know, just get better at the game. I understand that, and 4 seconds of invincibility is a long time, but it doesn't stop the problem that the reason that lava rooms are dangerous is because they will just slowly wear you down. You will probably take at least one hit in every lava room from the lava. And you might take another hit from the enemies because you tried to avoid the lava. That was really bad, I shouldn't keep doing that. And the fact is, there's literally no way to avoid that. No item can stop that happening. It doesn't matter if you have 4 seconds of invincibility in lava. It doesn't make a difference. It doesn't stop you taking damage when you first enter the room and then step into the lava and then take damage. It doesn't matter that you then, 10 seconds later in the same room, accidentally step in the lava 1 more time. No amount of invincibility timer is going to prevent that from being a problem. And that's why lava rooms are bad, and that's why not having a way to counter that is bad. Now, you could argue that Genghis' soul is a counter to that, and that's true. And I'm interested to see how that plays out. And if anything, that's probably a better counter because it's more expensive, so it's not so easy to sort of trivialise lava rooms. But that being said, Genghis' soul is kind of a nauseating item, and I think a lot of people are going to have problems with it for that reason, so it's probably not a bad thing. If anything, the flip-flop should be repriced to some kind of more expensive price. Because of the value they add to your run, they should cost something accordingly, which they currently don't. Or make another item which, like, you know, which is what the flip-flops used to be, but it's the same price, and then leave the current flip-flops doing what they do. I don't know. But I do feel like something needs to be done, because it's currently, I don't think it's balanced properly, but that's something that, you know, that's something that can be discussed, I suppose, and I'm sure Mike is paying attention to what everyone's feedback from this patch, and I'm sure he will come up with an adequate solution. Biznap had an interesting idea with it, but one thing he apparently talked to Mike about, and this is what Biznap thought was going to happen in this patch, was that there's some kind of global timer for flip-flops, so you can't take damage more than every 6 seconds with flip-flops. But that timer is global, so if you stand in the lava for 3 seconds and then get out, it doesn't run out 3 seconds later. You can jump back in the lava like 10 minutes later, and you'll still have another 3 seconds of grace. I need to come in here because I have no choice. I should have enough jumps to avoid it though. This is a lava room that's okay because you can fully avoid this. But when you start getting skulls and things in there is when they become a problem. But yeah, so my general overall point was there's a lot of situations where you can't avoid taking damage in this game, and the reason that becomes a problem is that if health drops become too low, then the game becomes too much about luck, in that you have to hope you just don't get enough of these rooms that you can't avoid damage in, so that you literally don't just bleed out over the course of the game. Like right now I'm sitting on 6 hearts. I lost this health a long time ago and I've barely recovered any of it since then. And that's kind of the problem, because there's been plenty of situations where I could potentially have taken damage which wouldn't really have been my fault, and the game just hasn't replenished me enough. Like, that one mistake is still a huge factor. That one little mistake, which anybody can do, no matter what skill you are at this game, you're always going to occasionally do something silly. and the game is a bit too punishing for that, in my opinion, at the moment. But yeah. But don't get me wrong here. Like I'm ranting a little bit right now, just because these are some thoughts that I've had since my first go at this patch, and I realise it wasn't a very good run in general. So my perspective may be a little bit skewed. So I'm not saying that this patch is unbalanced yet. I'm not saying that the changes are necessarily bad yet. I'm still playing the patch and waiting to see exactly how things work out. But yeah, there's a few things about this patch which irk me, I guess is the way to phrase it. And I'm waiting to see how exactly they factor into things, because honestly, like, any one of these factors that feels a little bit shitty or unfair, you can't judge that it's bad until you actually determine whether or not, ooh, we got run. That's excellent. You have to wait and see. I'm also going to take the anchor because that's probably a good thing. You have to wait and see just how often it's actually these things that cause runs to end when they otherwise wouldn't have ended, for example. And only then can you fairly judge whether it's a problem, because as unfair as some things, or as bullshit as some things might seem, if in reality they're rare enough, or they they are actually balanced enough that they don't cause you that many problems too often, then it's okay, because that's the point of a roguelike. It doesn't, I'm not saying that no run should ever end because you got unlucky and some bullshit happened and you got like a series of bad rooms and you died. But if that's going to be a factor in every game, to the point where like the lucky thing is for that not to happen rather than for that to happen, that's when it becomes a problem, and that's kind of the point. But anyway, I've been ranting about this for a long time now, which I guess is not a bad thing, so at least I'm talking about oh my god. That's the greatest thing I've ever seen. We just got infinite health. This could make the run. I'm actually going to do these lava rooms and hope that some health drops. Wow, that guy died like twice in 2 shots. The rum is really helping. That's excellent. Okay, the rum is a big deal. The rum has given me a lot of damage. I'd actually like to have confirmation from Mike whether or not he went through with the overall nerf to all items. Because at one point he was saying that he was going to nerf the amount that every item gives you. So, less speed from speed ups, less damage from damage ups, and so on and so forth. I'd like to know if he actually went through with that, or if he decided not to do that because he nerfed the game in a lot of other ways. Because I said at the end of my last video that was one of the things he did, and I said it because he said he was going to do it. But I don't actually, I'm not actually 100% sure if he went through with that or not, because obviously, he was in the process of doing the patch when he said it, so he could have easily changed his mind. Okay, Omni seems to be a lot more common now, and Poseidon seems to be a lot rarer, which is interesting. But yeah, I might ask Mike on Twitter later if that's something he's actually gone through with, because I don't want to be giving people false impressions of the patch and telling them that things have been nerfed that haven't been nerfed, or things have been buffed that haven't been buffed. And now Omni is getting far too big. Omni, please just die. Oh my god, Omni, please just. How the fuck am I? What the fuck? What did I do there? I somehow stayed in the air, like I kept jumping. That was really weird. Anyway, we're going to get Omni's Tentacle, which is a big deal, because that's a speed up, and so far I have no speed ups, and I'm the tank, so I really need speed ups. Anyway, we're going to move down to floor 4 now, where I really need some more speed ups, otherwise Gangs is going to be a real problem as soon as I move down to floor 4. So yeah, we have some good upgrades so far. The Iron Heart is huge. I can't explain to you what that means. It's the most insanely good and amazing item ever in this game, like probably in any roguelike. It's so crazy, like, but it's really good because it's one of those things, like, it's like an epic feat as an Isaac, where I wouldn't say that Iron Heart's necessarily as much of a guaranteed win as something like Epic Fetus in Isaac is, but it's okay for a roguelike to have those things, because you want the roguelike to be in a situation where you're excited to see what items drop, and when you get one of those items like a Polyphemus in Isaac, you can just really just really go crazy and be really excited and have a good time, because that's what makes a roguelike fun, at least to me. I mean, there's obviously, I'm sure there's some people which find the challenge and the skill-based nature of roguelikes to be a lot of fun, and I do find that fun. But for me, it's the gambling aspect and the what will I get this time, which really draws me in and really gets me hooked. As I've said many times before, I think I am secretly a gambling addict. Anyway, let's go fight a mini-boss and see if we can't get another fantastic upgrade out of him. This is Russell, who shouldn't be too much of a problem. Oh god, I took a hit there, which is kind of bad. Let's just throw a couple of bombs at you, just to deal some damage while I head over here. And deal with this with the Gilead. That's him dead, so now you should die. If you'd like to drop me something nice, I'd really appreciate that. if the game could give me some luck so that the run could go my way, I'd like to beat the patch because, you know, I don't want to be, like, lagging behind everybody else because Green beat it, but then Green had the Trident, which is not perfectly, but what do we get here? An armor box. Okay. Wow, that gave me a lot of armor. That's nice. I now have 10 out of 8 health, by the way, which is cool. But yeah, Green beat the patch, although it was the preview build, so technically it's not the patch, just because it didn't have everything. But let's be honest, the things that were missing weren't going to have crossed in the run, so I mean, effectively, he has beat the patch. Biznap actually hasn't beat the patch, at least at the time of this recording. He actually lost for the first time in ages, which is important, because, you know, if somebody can just beat your game outright every time, that's probably a sign that something is wrong. Although that being said, Biznap is far above, I would say, the average of most people, at least at this game, if not just at games in general, because that guy is, like, really good at games all of the time, or at least certain types of games. And not to say that patch 1.5 wasn't too easy, but if you balance a game for somebody like Biznap, then you're potentially going to alienate a lot of your prospective audience, because there's a lot of people who I've spoken to who, you know, people who aren't Let's Players and things like that. Not to say that Let's Players are inherently better at games, but, you know, just I say they're not Let's Players because what I mean is that means that the evidence of their skill level isn't really out there in such a public perspective. What the fuck is this axe? What the fuck is this axe? Okay, that's really scary and weird, and that makes me scared to jump very much, which is bad because jumping is important in this game. But yeah, there's a lot of people who I know of, who I've spoken to on various like Twitch chats and Twitter and things like that, who actually either haven't or have struggled to beat patch 1.5, and my concern for them is that this patch is going to be so much harder that it might be somewhat demoralizing for them in terms of playing the game. Like, if I was struggling to beat patch 1.5 and then I played this patch, I'd probably just think, okay, fuck this. Whoa, what the fuck just hit me? Was I being chased by a homing shot that entire time? Because that sucks. But yeah, anyway, if I was like struggling to beat patch 1.5 and then this patch came along, I would probably think like, fuck this. This game is just too hard for me. And I might not. What? They hit me then? What is going on? I would probably just, I would potentially like stop playing the game maybe, or at least be pretty mad with it. And I might tell people, you know, yeah, it's a good game, but if you don't like really hard games, don't buy it or something like that. Whereas previously I would have told absolutely everybody to buy this game. So that's something that you have to consider. And if you want to make that game, if you want to be the guy to make a reference, then by all means, and obviously not to say that this is kind of the ridiculous levels of stupid difficulty that something like I Want to Be the Guy is, but the fact is, if you want to make a really hard game, that's fine. You just have to bear in mind when you consider making money, how that's actually going to affect your potential sales. And, you know, not to sound like some kind of douchebag, like, marketing guru or something, because by all means I'm not, but it's just something to consider, because I know that, obviously, Code Avarice, Mike and Travis have been having issues financial-wise because the game hasn't made them that much money yet. It's made a reasonable amount. It's done well for an indie game, but you know it's not on Steam and it's not making those kind of dollars. So you know, I worry if they potentially, you know, make the game a little less inaccessible for some reason. I'm tempted by that health box just because I know that I know for a fact that I can take the health. But I want to buy the scissors just because that will facilitate much more purchases throughout the entire rest of the game. And given the scarcity of money drops now, the scissors are a much huger upgrade than they used to be, and they were already ridiculously overpowered. So, like, the scissors is like, I would say the scissors is probably the best item in the game at this point. So, you know, that's the thing. As far as comparing this game to The Binding of Isaac is, I almost said combining because I mixed comparing and binding together. As far as comparing this game to The Binding of Isaac goes, there's obviously important comparisons to be made there because, you know, Isaac is a huge inspiration for this game. And I left a comment on one of Biznap's videos where I said that I was a bit worried that the patch might be a little bit too difficult now. And one of the points he responded with is Binding of Isaac. And how, you know, health doesn't drop that often in Binding of Isaac. You know, there's runs where you can never buy anything from a shop in Isaac, and even when you can, you maybe buy one item the entire game, maybe two if you really find a lot of money. And part of that is to do with the shop items not being that important in Isaac, and the other part of that is because, you know, the primary source of items in Isaac is item rooms. You go to an item room, you get an item for free. That doesn't exist in Paranautical Activity. You always have to fight something, whether it's a mini-boss, a boss, or the normal rooms in order to find a shop. And in a shop you have to pay money. In Paranautical Activity, the shops are the primary source of items. There's 3 items in every shop, so you have a choice. And, like, you know, like... what's the math on this? Like, 2 out of 5, what's that going to be? Like 60%? Something like 60% of all your items you're ever going to see on your run are going to be in shops, unless you skip a lot of shops, just because 3 out of every 5 items on the floor are in a shop. So shops are the primary source of items, meaning that money is far more important than Isaac, so you can't really balance money drops in Paranautical Activity to line up with money drops in Isaac, because money is a secondary effect to buy some useful utility items which can help you stay alive or find things a bit easier. You don't get... Oh my god, I didn't realise the skull's alive and he took damage, that's bad. You know, you don't rely on shops to get all of your damage, all of your speed, and all of your base stats. You rely on boss drops and item rooms for that. And I don't think mini-bosses are quite a fair comparison to item rooms in Isaac, because yes, they're not that difficult, and yes, obviously you get an item without paying for it, but the fact that you have to fight something for it just means it's not the same. You never just get to a room and go, okay, I've got to this room, so now I get an item and that's it. I don't have to do anything else. You always have to fight your mini-boss, and there's certain mini-bosses which, you know, with certain classes, with certain stats, especially in the early game, can be a big problem. And you can lose a lot of health in order to obtain that item, which then may turn out not to be worth it. And as I was talking about earlier, taking a lot of damage is a much, much bigger problem in this game than it is in Isaac, because this game bleeds you dry more than Isaac does. It's much easier to avoid damage in Isaac than it is in this game, just because there's very, very few things in Isaac which are unavoidable damage, and none at all past the early game. Once you get later on into the game, by and large, you're not going to see those rooms anymore that you can't deal with, just because you should have found enough upgrades to survive. Because Isaac never has a situation where you potentially can't get an upgrade. And this game kind of does, because... it does. Isaac does have that. It's not fair to say that it doesn't, because you can get extremely unlucky, and I've certainly had runs where I've found nothing but spacebar items like the entire time, and I've done really badly, and obviously you can lose because of that. But you're never really going to run into a situation in Isaac where there's a really good item, but you can't get it just because you didn't get enough money or something, because the shop doesn't serve that purpose in Isaac. That's not its role. You know, the only thing, I think, I could be wrong about this, but I think the only damage-related item in a shop in the Binding of Isaac is the candle. And that's a secondary effect. It's a spacebar item. It's an active ability. It's not your primary source of damage, which is your tears. So it's not really the same situation, so the comparison isn't 100% fair to make. So, you know, I'm not saying that I think Mike has balanced this game because of Isaac, by all means. I'm pretty sure that, you know, this game has taken enough of a life of its own now that it's really not affected by that comparison anymore, which is why I encourage people not to draw that comparison too strongly. Like, by all means make the comparison, because it's never going to not be relevant, but, you know, don't feel like if this game's balance matches Isaac balance perfectly in terms of drops or something, then that's not necessarily good, because it doesn't match Isaac in terms of just the playstyle and the... I nearly got hit by that axe, it's scary. Just by the playstyle and just the same kind of, you know, like, how you avoid taking damage and things like that. But I've gained a lot of money on the rest of this floor, and I have the scissors now, so... Or did I pick up the scissors yet, or did I not buy them yet? I may have not bought them yet. No, I didn't buy them yet. Okay, so now we're going to buy them. And for 50, I'm going to buy a health box. That's taking me up to 15 health. I'm probably going to skip the spinach, because, well, the spinach is literally worthless, because it will increase my health capacity, which is pointless now. Like, health ups are completely negated by having the Iron Heart, which is what makes it a huge upgrade. Okay, we have hands. I'm going to employ my pro strat here again, which is to stop moving when he does this, because it does actually seem to work. And they get really close, and it's kind of scary, but he didn't hit me. And he's only hit me once since I've started standing still while he did it, so it's a really interesting strategy, which is something that Mike told me, which he probably shouldn't have told me, because now I'm going to tell everybody, and Hans will become probably the easiest boss to beat in the entire game. That's not true, actually. He's never going to be the easiest to beat in the entire game, but it considerably lowers his threat. It also explains why standing on the elevator means you don't get hit by chainsaws very much as well. So I always thought, surely if you stood on the elevator, you'd just get hit by chainsaws constantly, but you actually don't. And that's probably why, because he doesn't usually spawn them. It's rare that he spawns them directly underneath you. It's in like a 5 block radius around you, or whatever the radius would be measured in a game like this. Okay, he's dead. Just make sure all the chainsaws are gone. So Hans's coat is pretty much a pointless upgrade, except for the fact that it'll give me armor, because it'll increase my health capacity, which is just absolutely not necessary. And we'll move down onto the next floor. We have a shit ton of health at this point, so I'm hoping that maybe, just to make... What exploded? What was that? That was weird. Maybe, just maybe, I can make something happen here, because I have a lot of health, so it's going to take a lot of shit to kill me at this point. And I'm not saying that this game doesn't have enough shit, but I'm saying it's possible. And, you know, it takes this level of health, like this much health and stuff, to make me actually feel confident in this patch after my first attempt at it. We'll see how that opinion changes as I play the game more, because I don't yet know what the quote-unquote status quo is yet. Like, I don't know, is it common for you to die due to a lot of bullshit, or is it common for you to actually have a good run and then just lose it near the end? Because if that's the case, that's kind of okay. What I'm not okay with is if, like, the game is balanced in such a way that you just get your ass kicked really early on because of not getting enough shit. This is going to be filled with ceiling monkeys, which is okay. What keeps exploding? I keep hearing explosions, but I'm not throwing any bombs. What was that? What is going on here? Is there some kind of bug or something going on? Because I keep hearing explosions, and there shouldn't be any explosions, and I got hit there, which is kind of surprising to me. How have I not killed these gangsters yet, by the way? How are they dodging me this effectively? Come on now. Just deal with the moths and everything should be good. Nice. Okay. What do we have in here? Okay, this room is filled with... See, this is a problem right here. There is no way I'm going to get into this room and not take damage. And that's a problem. that just is a problem. That shouldn't be a thing. So I'm going to try and avoid that room if I can, or at least approach it from a different angle, but... You have to consider in this game when the majority of rooms are entered from any angle. You have to be careful in the way you design rooms, because there can be a room where, like, the bullshit thing that you're supposed to dodge is unavoidable because you have to walk through it to get into the room. So, yeah, that's a thing just to think about a little bit. Let's see. Oh, there's some health, which is good. We now have 20 red health, which is insanity. This item is so interesting because it completely flips the health situation around, and it makes, like, red health the new armor. Like, red health is really good because it drops better and it's infinite now. And armor kind of becomes like a little secondary effect. But yeah, this gives you so much health. It's a ridiculous snowball effect. If you can just not take damage for a little while, then you do get a lot. It's interesting because I feel like I've got more red health since I picked up the item as well. Let's just go fight the boss now because we're in a good position. Oh god, this is going to be a damage up. That's really good. We're not doing a lot of damage, which makes me scared for Dahlia because that's going to end up being a long fight, and she no longer drops health anymore. Like, none of the enemies drop health, which is good now. It's probably okay in this situation, but in general it scares me because if you get to Dahlia with low health, you're basically going to die because you can't hope to get any kind of regeneration in there anymore, which is kind of scary. But I think it's probably a necessary balance change because the amount of health that was dropped meant that if you got there, you were probably okay. You were probably going to succeed. I'm now... Okay, this is interesting. I'm not... okay, I've now fallen through the boss. I'm not sure what happened there. That was really interesting, but that's definitely an interesting meta strategy for taking on this boss. That was really interesting. Okay, this Banshee will die pretty soon. We're doing a reasonable amount of damage, but I'd definitely like to be doing more. I think we've only had one damage up, if I'm right in thinking, which was the Mega Bullets. And that's... Oh no, the Rum. We had the Rum as well, which is also a damage up, so that's good. Now we're going to get another damage up, and we're going to continue exploring, of course, because I want to find the shop, which hopefully I can do without, you know... is this the room with the arrows? Yeah, I'm going to avoid that room if I can, just because I don't want to deal with that bullshit. Honestly, it's just... It's bad. It's pretty bad. So let's go this way, I suppose. Although this is an acid dream, which I also don't want to deal with. What about this way? Let's just exhaust all my options, shall we? So that we probably end up having to deal with some kind of bullshit. But hey, that is kind of the name of the game in a roguelike a little bit. Yeah, there's also the shop, which I could have seen immediately, which I obviously just didn't pay enough attention to. But hey, so let's deal with this room. Okay, I got a bit close there. I'm really not worried about losing my armor because I'm absolutely fine relying on my red health because I just have so much of it. which is awesome. I like being in this situation. The Iron Heart is definitely a game-making item. There's still a Gilead here, which I didn't realise. But yeah, the Iron Heart is like one of those items where you think, okay, GG, most of the time. Not always, but most of the time. Like, it's a big deal. And that's okay. That's fine. That can be okay because... Oh god, I landed on top of Genghis. Because in a game where, like, you can die from bad luck when you were otherwise doing well, it's also important to win from bad luck when you were otherwise doing badly. Anyway, we're just going to take all of this shit, because why the fuck not? And then we're going to continue to look for our mini-boss, which I hope to find pretty soon, because I don't want to spend an unnecessary amount of time on this floor, just because the game does get a little hard at this level, and I would like to not take too much damage before moving on. That was silly, I shouldn't have jumped literally into that Gilead's face there, but hey, there's some red health, which is awesome. I feel like Iron Heart is inevitably going to be nerfed at some point, which is going to make me very sad. But until that day, we can rejoice in the awesomeness that is Iron Heart. It's like the best item in any game ever. That Gilead spawned in midair, which is kind of interesting. I'm not sure he was supposed to spawn. Oh, this is a room filled with these things. Okay. Okay, I can actually jump over them with this much jump, which is really interesting. This does stress the importance of jump upgrades even more, which is... I'm not sure, that's interesting. We'll see how that... Because they're not necessarily, like, impossible to come by. But I'm not sure if I'd be able to jump... Could I jump over this in one jump? So if I didn't have double jump? Well, I can here, because it's hitting the floor. But if I had to, like, I was dodging here... Oh god, I've walked into a room. It's empty then. No, I can't. So I have to have the spring and double jump, which is interesting. That's a synergy which before was kind of redundant, and now it actually kind of has a point. So I actually kind of like that. But it remains to be seen how those arrow traps affect the overall. I mean, they seem rare enough that they're not going to be a huge problem. And they do make these floors even harder, which is nice, because these floors should be scary. Like, they should be a scary thing. And towards the end of my playthrough of patch 1.5, I wasn't really very scared of this game at all. Only really floor 7 just because of the Nazis a little bit, but other than that I was like, Genghis, not too hard, you know, skulls, not too hard, lava rooms, I've got flip-flops. Now this game scares me again, and I've walked into here, but luckily that room was empty. Was that room empty? No, it wasn't. How did I just walk in there and not trigger the room? I'm slightly confused by this. Anyway, let's go this way, because maybe this will lead me to the mini-boss. I don't know why I just jumped there. Oh, good. This is nice. Okay, that was horrible. That's a really weird idea, to have the arrows, like, blocking the door like that, so that you have to time your entry and exit to the room. I don't know if that's a good idea. But anyway, we've dealt with the room reasonably effectively. Let's just pick up all this health that's dropped. Now I have 27 out of 10 red health. This is insanity. This is literal insanity. Yeah, that's not the way I want to go, is it? I want to go this way. And now I have to arbitrarily, like... Can I actually get hit? Let's find out. Okay, maybe I can't actually get hit in the doorway, even though it looks like I can. Oh no, it doesn't even look like I can. Maybe it's only some side of the rooms. I don't know. I don't know how that works. Maybe you actually can't get hit as you walk into the room, I'm not sure. Maybe it is just to make dodging a little more difficult. If that's the case, then that's fine. Just deal with these Genghises, because they're chasing me. I feel like this is a very scientific run. I've been testing things out and talking a lot about mechanics and stuff, so... yeah, I don't know if people like that, or whether they just want me to be silly all the time, but, you know, I like to talk about game design and that kind of thing, so we'll see. Let's go into the mini-boss, which is the moth. It shouldn't be a problem at this point in the game, hopefully. I mean, moths are always a problem for me, just because I kind of suck at dealing with them. But from an objective standpoint, I shouldn't struggle here, and it looks like I'm not going to struggle here. I shouldn't take a hit if everything continues going this way. And now if you can stand here, then you should just basically die. Just take a nice little relaxed sit in the corner while shooting a shotgun. Shooting a moth in the face with a shotgun, which is pretty much how all of my holidays go. I just, I go somewhere that has a lot of moths and I take a shotgun and I shoot them all in the face. I don't want the rocket launcher, so we're now going to backtrack all the way to the boss and leave the floor. Just going to rush through this room and just fuck the arrows. Ooh, that could have hit me. And this room I haven't done, which was silly. I should not have walked in here. I didn't really pay attention to the map or where the fuck I was going. I was just like, fuck it, and I ran in here, which is very silly. But hey, whatever. It's not a big deal. It's not a difficult room. I shouldn't take damage from it, so I should be okay. Maybe I'll even gain some health. You never know, because I need more health, surely. Alright, that's one moth. That's two moths. How the fuck long does it take me to kill this moth? I was trying not to finish the sentence until I'd actually finished killing the moth, but for fuck's sake. Alright, that's a bit more money, I guess. Yeah, we've cleared this room out, so let's now continue backtracking and not be an idiot. Let's just test this. Yeah, you can get hit in the doorway. That's stupid. That shouldn't be able to happen. That's just not well designed. Let's not walk in there. I very nearly did that, which would have been incredibly silly. Was there anything else in here worth taking? No, I cleared it out. Okay, good. I'm glad I can still clear shops out, but it does require the scissors. Definitely. It's weird. Previously, the scissors benefited the early floors a lot, and then were useless later on. Now they benefit the late floors a lot, and they're useless early on because you'll literally never be able to afford it, unless, of course, you get them from a mini-boss, which is never not going to be awesome. That's always going to be fantastic. So let's go down to floor number 6. We might beat the game here, which is exciting. And, yeah. I've been hearing some crazy stories about this patch. I already know of somebody who has apparently beaten this game in 10 minutes in this patch, which, unless a glitch happened, I don't know how the fuck that happened. And the other thing is, I've already heard that somebody's beaten the game with a fucking sickle in this patch, which just infuriates me because the sickle gave me so much trouble even on the last patch, let alone this patch. So, oh god, lava. God damn it, lava. I know it's technically acid, but fuck it, I can't, you know, my brain can't handle changing what word to use. So I'm just going to call it lava all the time so that I can concentrate more on what I'm doing and less about what I'm saying. Look at this guy just flying across the room. Alright, let's just use the mini magnet to pick up all the loot. Okay. I like how with double jump you can pick up stuff from lava by kind of like falling into lava and then just double jumping before you hit it, which is really cool. I'm going to start peeking because I just want to find bosses and things as soon as possible now, really. I don't want to be in rooms for an unnecessary length of time. There's nothing in there. I blew up that powder keg so that I could see the door properly. And it blew up all of them, which is kind of strange to me. I didn't think that would happen. Okay, we're going to go probably this way, is a little bit less threatening. I'm still nervous about the last floor, because the last floor can be really big and the Nazis can do a lot of damage to you, like, in a lot of different rooms. I do have 25 health, but I don't think I'm guaranteed not to die. I think it's unlikely. Like, very unlikely. But I don't want to make that promise just because I'll look like the biggest... Did you just commit suicide? Jesus, Mike and Travis. I know, like, you know, you've had a few troubles with this game, but there's no need to just blow yourself up with a bomb. Anyway, here's the mini-boss, so this is a good thing. At least we found one of the rooms relatively early on. Because the thing about these later floors that make them difficult is just how long you can search for and just not find any of the rooms you're looking for and take a lot of damage. I just threw a bomb by mistake and that blew up and hurt me. Wow. I am so good at this game. Come on. Now just deal with it. I don't know why I dealt with everything but the enemies that were chasing me first. That seems like the exact opposite of what I should be doing, but whatever. Gangus will die, and there's another Gangus. He dies like instantly. Got a really itchy leg, which I can't scratch because things were still chasing me, but now I can scratch. Okay, right. Let's go fight our mini-boss. I kind of want it to be Lilith, just... Oh, we're not finished in here. Okay, that was lucky that this guy didn't manage to find me. Okay, he blew up in my face. I kind of hope this is Lilith now, just so I can kick her ass. No, it's the tentacle thing, the jellyfish. I think it's a jellyfish. Someone can tell me, like, exactly what animal this is, because I think it's a jellyfish, but I feel like it might not be a jellyfish. What's this? Ooh, hello, greens ovaries. Wow, this guy dropped 3 red hearts, which is huge. Yeah, this room shouldn't be too much trouble. And then I guess we'll just find the boss, and then if we haven't found the shop, should we look for it? I'm not sure. Probably just because I wouldn't mind some more upgrades, and I could potentially get some really good upgrades because I have the scissors and plenty of money. So it's probably a silly thing to skip the shop. I don't think I can really afford to rush the game too much anymore. So yeah, think we'll find the shop regardless of if we find it before the boss or not. I think that's probably a worthwhile thing to do, at least on this floor. Probably not on the next floor, just because that's end game then, and I should probably, you know, end the game when I get the chance. I don't know if there's anything important in there. What about through here? Yeah, maybe. At the very least, I can maybe skip that big tower room, which is probably a bit more difficult than this room. Well, considerably more difficult than this room, actually, because this room is just like 4 Gileads and a Mike and Travis. Okay. We took 1 hit, but that's okay, because there's heart. What's the word I'm looking for here? I tried to say heart and health at the same time and got half. But there was a heart on the floor, so that damage was immediately healed. What's through here? Don't know. It could lead me somewhere, so let's do this. Okay, Mike and Travis are being helpful. These are probably the most helpful enemies in any game I've ever seen. They rarely do damage to me. They commit suicide half the time, and when they don't commit suicide, they probably kill other enemies for me. Which is just hilarious. Like, these guys need to never change. They just need to be the most inept enemy in any game ever, because that is just hilarious and awesome, and I love it. It just amuses me greatly. There needs to be some kind of, like, animated series about those two characters, because they are just hilarious. If I was famous enough to get some kind of artist to make a thing for me, I'd get them to make that for me. Without having to pay them, of course, because I'm a scumbag. And I want to, you know, obtain things through my fame and privilege rather than, you know, through honesty and money. Okay, just the bomb guys left to kill, which shouldn't be too much problem. Okay, good. So we still haven't found anything useful, but I'm hoping that this way that I'm going actually pays off, because if not, then I'm just going to basically waste my time and have to backtrack, which is never really that much fun. This could still lead me somewhere. It's still, you know, it's still a thing. If I can kill this guy in the middle, he might kill the Gileads. And he killed 1 Gilead, and he weakened the other one, so that's a good thing. Okay, now just the Ganguses, and they shouldn't be too much trouble. Oh, that pro bomb stuck it to his tail. What's through this way? Okay, I'm not a big fan of the room, but... Oh, okay. So the trick in this room is to not jump too high. I like this, I have to say. The arrow traps are a cool thing. Ooh, that was scary. They do change the way you have to play rooms. So, like, I have to not jump too high this side, and then I have to jump this side and stay off the floor this side, which is kind of interesting. I like this mechanic so far from what I've seen of it. They seem to be, for the most part, fairly well implemented. There's a couple of issues which I've already gone over, so I won't go over it again, just because, you know, this also... Actually, this might not still be the wrong way. Okay, this is scary. Okay, I managed to get away from it. So the trick here is just to never go underneath these stairs. Alright, I'm fine with that. I wonder if the arrows can hurt enemies. That would be interesting. Could be some potential meta strats there for dealing with some enemies, possibly. I'm not sure. Yes, there we go. Lots left in here, just this guy. Yeah, I thought so. No, this still isn't necessarily a dead end. Good. I'm determined for this to take me somewhere useful, because otherwise I'm going to feel like I've massively wasted my time. Hey, the shop's here! This wasn't a pointless waste of my time! I'm so happy now! I was really worried for a while that this was literally going to lead me nowhere. And the boss is here as well. I don't know why, I just had a feeling that this was the right way. I don't know what made me think it, but I was convinced that I wasn't doing something stupid by coming here. And I wasn't, which is good. Because doing stupid things is kind of my thing a lot of the time. I do still hate this room though, because Gangus is fucking stupid with getting caught on the underside of the floor here. Can something be done about that, Mike, please? Because it doesn't make the room difficult, it just makes it really irritating. If there's some way you can stop Gangus from getting on the underside of the floor, then that would be really nice. Just because, you know, I really hate that. Before I know it, I'm gonna... Oh god, Gangus. Before I know it, I'm gonna regret asking for that, because Mike will probably do something bullshit like make Gangus go through the floor from underneath and just scare the shit out of you, so that should be fun. Oh god, I've fallen. That's scary. Let's just, you know. Okay, come on. There we go. Okay, good. So this is floor, yeah, this is floor 6. For a second I thought this was the end of the game, but it's not. It's floor 6. So I have one more floor to do. I'm probably going to I'm probably going to fight Spager here, which is, I'm absolutely okay with that. because he gives me a damage upgrade and some poison. Oh my god. Okay, this is an excellent pickup. If it wasn't GG before, it's definitely GG now. So let's go fight the boss. And this is the blowfish. Alright. Well, I'm going to get the blowfish for this. Sorry, this is the anglerfish, but I'm going to get the blowfish for this, which is a really good upgrade and very good against Dahlia. So I'm very happy about that, honestly. He's invisible. Okay, there he is. Dodging. Okay, he's starting to spawn fish. I think that's like a certain amount of time at the start of this fight before he starts spawning the fish. So if you have crazy enough damage, you can potentially kill him before he starts spawning fish, although that's probably only possible with the trident, I would imagine. But anyway, this guy shouldn't be too much trouble, and he should die relatively quickly. I think I've taken maybe one hit in here, unless I lost that health. Okay, there's definitely one hit in here, maybe two. But he will die. There he is, he's dead. And there's the blowfish. And we'll move on to the last floor. This should be GG at this point. I should be hopefully able to win the game, which is excellent. If we just find the boss really quickly, then that'll be excellent. Okay, there's some arrows there. There's a mini-boss. Alright, we're coming in here then. Okay, the Nazis are already being a problem. They do so much damage. What are you doing camping the wall like that? Look how much damage I've already taken in this room. And I haven't done anything stupid here. Like, I haven't done any kind of bad dodging practice or anything silly. I've literally just taken this much damage. This is the... Oh, my phone's running out of battery. Just ignore that beep. This is what's wrong with this picture right here, is I'm not doing anything wrong and I'm really powerful. I'm just taking a shit ton of damage. Because this room is basically impossible to avoid damage in. And the Nazis are a big part of that problem. Oh god, there's still a Nazi here. Okay, that was stupid damage. Oh my god, what was that? Oh my god, let me pause. Sorry, that my headphone wire tickled my leg, and it felt like a spider on me, and I freaked out. As you know, I'm deathly afraid of spiders. Alright, let's go fight the mini-boss. This room was a disaster, by the way. This room needs some serious work. Okay, now we fight Lilith as our final mini-boss, which seems fitting because she's by far the hardest. Just kill the Gilead so that it doesn't cause me problems. I really need more health. I'm a little bit nervous that 16 health is not going to be enough, especially if it takes me a long time to find Dahlia. But I don't expect to get that health, so if this game ends up killing me now, then I'm definitely going to say that there's something wrong with this patch. Because I should not be at risk of dying with this much health. Wow, this guy still managed to catch me despite my incredible speed. This guy's really, really fast. Let's stick a couple of bombs to him. Do a bit of poison damage from the bombs. Okay, please die soon. You're scaring me that you might actually manage to hit me. Okay, good. That's a health box. No, it's a mystery box. Lightning bolt. Wow, that's huge. Okay, that's a really good, really good upgrade. Can I see anything through here? Eesh. I don't like this. It's difficult to decide what room to go into. Can I see anything through here? No, and this room's going to be filled with Nazis, so I really don't want to deal with that because Nazis are bullshit. This room I definitely don't want to deal with. This room will probably kill me because it's just insane. And this is the start room. Okay, so what was through here? We can probably deal with this, I would imagine. There's like one Nazi who shouldn't really be a problem. I'm not sure if the arrows are going to end up being a problem because they're kind of firing at really... Where are they actually firing from? Either side of the room, okay. Man, these Nazis have so much health. Okay, the arrow traps so far aren't a huge problem. They haven't hit me that much except for in that one room where I just lost like 10 health or something. Okay, so there's our shop. Well, I do have to fight Nazis for it, but I'm willing to because I like shops. There's nothing to do with the game. I just have, you know, I have a moral obligation to defend shops. Oh my god, I don't like this. Yep, that's a hit. See, this is the problem with Nazis. You cannot avoid damage against them. It's impossible to no damage a room with a Nazi in it, unless, like, you get lucky and it dies really quickly, like from a trident shot or from something. But by and large, they will roll near a wall and they will do damage to you. When there's 4 of them in a room especially, that's just not going to be avoidable. But anyway, let's see what we have in our shop. I do have a starfish actually, I should remember that. Ooh, Adderall. I'm gonna be crazy here, even though this could potentially be damaging. I'm gonna take Gangster's Soul. Do you wanna know what this thing does? That. Now I'm on the ceiling. Yeah. I now can't jump unless I want to go on the ceiling. Which is... I probably shouldn't have done that. But I really want to see... Oh god, I've walked in here. Alright, well... I'm gonna try this because I kind of feel like being on the ceiling is gonna be the new meta. I really do. Because you can dodge everything. Like, look at this. This is just crazy. I love this. This is awesome. It's really disorientating and weird. And I really want to do a challenge run where I have to stay on the ceiling the entire game. That would be so much fun. Mike, please make it possible to add items, like with some kind of cheat engine-like thing, so that I can do that challenge run. Even if you just give me a special build so that I can do that, I would love to do that. That would be the most fun run ever. Like, just have to be on the ceiling the entire time, obviously except for when I go through doors. Because you can't go through doors while on the ceiling. What's left in here in Nazi, okay. Really interesting that the enemies actually... I wonder if Mike had to change any programming to make them be able to shoot at you here, or whether their current AI allows for that to happen. But look at that. That's crazy. Being on the ceiling is fucking awesome. I fucking love it. Just literally ceiling every room. It's a hard counter to lava rooms as well, which is crazy. Crazy awesome. Like this room no longer scares me. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. Ceiling monkeys be damned. The ceiling is mine now, bitch. Oh, you think the ceiling is your ally? You've only adopted the ceiling. I was born with it. Oh, we need a Bane monkey. We really need a Bane monkey. Just so that when you get Gangster's Soul and think the ceiling is the answer. Oh, this is silly and awesome, and I love this shit. This is my favourite item, even though obviously it's not the best item, because the best item is by far Ironheart, like without any doubt. This is just my favourite item because of how silly it is. And I'm really confused as to where I actually am, so I can not drop back into lava. Good God. Okay, that scared me. All right. So let's pick up whatever loot dropped for me, even though I don't really need loot at this point except for health. Okay, I got launched into the air slightly there. Let's just... What's in here? Does this lead me anywhere useful? Maybe, maybe not. What about this? Does this lead me anywhere useful? I don't... it could do. Fuck it. Oh, I'm fucking dancing on the ceiling. I love this. This is so cool. This is so cool. Okay, the one problem is if they get underneath something, I suppose, but I guess you can deal with everything else and then just go down and deal with that. The problem is when you actually need to jump. That's really disorientating, I guess. That's when it becomes a slight problem, but I can actually deal with this. Yeah, I think I could get used to this, actually. I feel like I could get some ridiculous pro meta strats like that, for example. I was gonna fall in the lava then, but I just reversed gravity so that I couldn't possibly touch the lava no matter what I did. Which is hilarious and awesome, and this is an interesting room. I want to try it in here. I want to try every room like this. Oh god, I'm stuck! Okay, that's scary. Oh my god, I'm so disorientated right now. There we go. Okay, right. That's the bot, actually. That's excellent. I wonder how this works on Dahlia. I'm not sure if I want to try that in case... Oh my god, I'm scared. Okay. Oh my god! Oh my god, no! No, what are you doing? What are you doing to me? Oh my god, that was horrible. And what am I getting caught on? Stop it! 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 Stop getting caught on something, okay? This is a really bad room to have this item on. I'm not sure what I'm getting stuck on. No. Okay, I've taken a lot of damage. This is really bad. This is really bad. This room is really bad to have this item on. No. I'm confused. I'm not sure what I'm getting caught against. I can't get my head around it. Oh my god, no. 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 Down to 6 health. This is really scary. I may not be able to beat Dahlia anymore. I may have fucked this up for myself. Whoops. What is that? That's the thing that's nearly near the roof. It really fucks up dodging. Is there any way to avoid that? No. You actually can't avoid that with Gangster's Soul. That's kind of scary. Okay, I need to get back onto sanity here. I really hope some health drops in here. Oh my god, stop it. Oh my god, no. Okay. I'm sorry if this is making anybody sick. This room is bad for Gangster's Soul because you can't dodge in a circle. So yeah, that's interesting to know. Boom! Pick up all your money and then reverse to the gravity so that I can't possibly die. Alright, so now I have to fight Dahlia on 5 health. This might not go well. This might not go well. Alright, fuck it. This is how we're doing this. We're going on the ceiling because I'm pretty sure the spiders are going to be no threat to me then, which is really interesting. I'm not sure whether they can spawn them on the ceiling, but I'm not also doing very much damage to Dahlia. What happens? Nope, the spiders... Okay, the spiders are literally no threat. That's really interesting. Okay. This is a very interesting meta strategy, which I'm interested to see whether it actually makes sense. The bad thing is I can't jump, and I'm probably going to die here, by the way, because I'm taking a lot of damage. But I can't jump, so I can't, like, bunny hop at all to dodge out the way of things. My god, these things are taking so long to kill. I have no damage for this fight. Good god. Okay. But yeah, this eliminates the spider threat completely, which is really interesting. But I don't think I have the damage to deal with her, or the health. If I'd managed to keep most of my health, I could probably do this. But right now, I don't think I will. So that's an interesting thing. Yeah, now Iris is here. Iris could be a problem. I have to deal with him. As soon as the Nazi spawn, I'm dead, by the way. So just so you know. Just so you're pre-warned that that's going to happen. That will happen. Down to 2 health. If these things need to drop some health, I feel. Otherwise, you're literally in a situation where if you don't get to Dahlia with a lot of health, you're fucked. And that's kind of silly. So, yeah. Just throwing that out there. Just so that, you know, that can be considered. I think that these should drop some health. It should just be a lot lower than it was. Because I think literally no regen whatsoever is kind of silly on this fight, honestly. Although they are dropping money. Do they literally just not drop health? Because if that's the case, that's silly. Because money is not important, and bombs isn't really important either. So yeah. Okay, here come the Nazis. I'm probably going to die at this point, but it's been a good run nonetheless. It's been a much more successful run than my last one, and I feel... Oh god, I'm 1 hit away. I feel a little bit more confident about the patch being a bit fairer than I thought it was going to be. Oh god, I'm 1 health from death. 1 health from death, I'm so scared. It's not impossible to do this, but it's very unlikely that I'll do this. This is like trying to beat Blue Baby on Isaac without taking any damage. Which, admittedly, I am trying to do. Oh, there, I'm dead. Okay, well, this was a good run. Wait. Oh, I have the starfish. I have the fucking starfish. I forgot about this. Okay, this probably isn't doable. I may consider getting a different weapon for this fight, honestly. The Gilead's gun. What would that do for me? I'm going to try it. I'm not sure if it's if there's possibly a better Dahlia fighting weapon than the shotgun. Oh god, I don't like this room. It's so confusing getting through this room. Okay, there we go, right. On the ceiling, and then I'm going to stand here because you probably can't hit me. Or at least it should be hard for it to hit me, so I'm going to do as much damage as I possibly can before I have to move because the Gileads and things will, these things will start spawning. I don't know if this is going to do any more damage than the shotgun, but it's worth a try because the shotgun I find really hard to use on Dahlia just because it's not very effective at range. I've already taken a hit, which is kind of surprising and scary. It may have just been a lucky Dahlia shot, I suppose. Is this not applying poison, or these guys just not show poison damage? I'm slightly confused by that. Okay, these guys are taking a long time to die. Do they have more health than normal Skeleto, or less health than... They should have less health, surely, because they're like a mini-boss version, but... I wonder if they actually have the same health, because that is pretty crazy if they do. Look at how many spiders on the ceiling, by the way. That's a horrifying sight. I actually can't kill these things. Okay, there we go, finally. Please die. Okay, I've taken another hit. That's kind of scary. She's going to spawn the irises before I even fucking kill these things. Yep, thought so. Okay, so we're in this situation again, are we? Where I'm basically fucked to keep fighting the same enemies over and over and over again. Oh, this is... This could work in my favour. Let's just throw a bomb, which missed Dahlia completely, because I'm not very clever at throwing bombs. I do have a really low rate of fire, despite all the speed upgrades, just because this class starts with such a low rate of fire, so it makes this kind of a weapon not very good. But hey, we're gonna keep trying to see if this can. If I beat her, then the starfish is amazing. I love it. But I don't know if I'm gonna beat her, honestly, just because she's gonna spawn enemies again soon, and these things aren't even nearly dead yet. So then I'm kind of fucked. In fact, she just did. That's literally what she just did, and that's gonna wear me down slowly but surely. So you know, I need to stop firing for a second because my face was itching. But yeah, this Gangster Soul thing, man, it's crazy and it's awesome. And that home, what was I got? Oh, the homing shot is from the Beholder guy. Yeah, that guy's kind of a problem. All right, well. I wonder if you spam Gangster Soul, if you could kind of do some weird thing where you're kind of flying through a room. I don't know, that would be probably difficult to do and very disorientating. I'm down to 6 health, which is scary because Dali's only lost 1 bar of health. I'm not expecting to win this run by any means, but it's been an interesting battle. I'm happy with like how this run's gone. If every run goes something like this, then I'm pretty happy with it because this is like, you know, this is like an interesting battle with me. Oh god, now the schools have spawned. This is kind of me versus game rather than me kicking game's ass or game kicking my ass. This is a fun level of difficulty, this run. Whether every run will be like this remains to be seen. Dahlia is not losing enough health for my liking. I may be better off just trying to avoid enemies and shoot her. Just keep strafing and just keep shooting her until she's dead and then deal with the enemies, because otherwise she's going to spawn stuff forever. Although when Skeletor spawns, that's kind of a problem because he's big, and so I can't keep walking around in a circle because he will hit me. So, I don't know. This is interesting though. I feel really dizzy, and I'm sorry if anybody's feeling dizzy watching this. This is a very dizzying affair. Oh god, I've taken a hit there. First time for a little while though, that's a good sign. She's now down almost 2 bars. She has less health, if I mentioned that in my previous video, but if you didn't see it, oh my god, there's some health. Wow, they do still drop health. It's just very rare. So Mike didn't change that then. Okay, that's important. There's also more health there, which I'm going for. Oh god, I took a hit for it. That wasn't good, because I now... Oh god, I took another hit for it. Okay, so I net lost there. That was bad. That was very bad. But yeah, it's interesting they do drop health. So if they still drop health and that hasn't been specifically lowered for this fight, that just shows you how slow health drops are now, which is kind of scary. Okay, now the Skeletos have spawned, which is a problem. Okay, yeah, this might end up killing me here because I'm now getting a lot of hits because I'm having to dodge in a weird way because the Skeletos are too big. God damn it. Your face, it's too large. I'm having to do some really weird dodging patterns which I'm not at all comfortable with, and I've only taken down 1 more bar of her health in all this time, so yeah, that's a little bit scary. She is slowly poisoning to death though, although I think the poison has actually worn off now because I'm not doing enough poison. Oh god, I'm down to 3 health. Alright, this is a slow burn of death. I'm going to die. But at least I tried. I tried, goddammit. I tried. Hashtag I tried. Okay, he's dead. Focus on Dahlia again, focus on Dahlia again. Ignore these guys because they are going to block a lot of shots. But I need to focus Dahlia down if I have any hope here. It's not likely that I do. It's really not likely that I do. But hey, it's been a fun fight. It's not impossible. It's not impossible for me to win at this point, but it seems unlikely. I need to focus really hard on making sure that I'm shooting at her because I have a habit of missing a lot. Keep the focus on her. Just keep the reticle on her. I haven't taken a hit for a little while again, which is kind of exciting. I hate not being able to jump at all. I wish there was like a different key that swapped me to the ceiling, but I guess it makes sense to... I guess that it may... Oh god, that's going to be more Nazis, isn't it? Okay, there's some health. Can I get it? No, I've taken a hit for it. I've got to stop trying to get the health. It's killing me. Going for the health is like a bad thing here. Oh god, I'm 1 hit away. Okay, this is probably going to be death here. I'm expecting death any minute now. Any freaking minute now. She's not even halfway dead. Dahlia is really hard now. If I'd come into here with all my health, I maybe could have done this. But I lost a lot of it on this floor. Some of it was my fault from silliness. That one room that cost me the most of my health, though, was just bullshit. And I think that room needs to be massively changed. Because that's a big problem. At least, like, unless you have ridiculous kind of upgrades, which, you know, that's too much of a gear check, probably. But hey, you know. Oh, I'm dead. Alright, wow. That was a really interesting run. That was a lot of fun overall. So yeah, my opinion of the patch has now increased considerably. I was really mad at the end of my previous video of this patch, but this one was a lot more fun. But yeah, that was patch 1.6. Unfortunately, I couldn't show you the credits because I'm actually now in the credits, which is kind of hilarious because I said in one of my videos a while back that, I said some like sarcastic comment like, oh, I should be in the credits, not Green and Bisnap, and now I'm in the credits saying that exact quote, which is kind of funny. But anyway, thanks a lot for watching, guys, and I will see you next time.